right, so the first thing you're going to want to do is get yourself some flannel. And these are all, you know, pretty standard pieces. It's going to be random. So just what we'll end up doing is cutting our flannel in half, and then we will be sewing it into like a little pocket. So we'll cut this in half. We'll have one little one here and then one here. So I'm actually going to speed up the video. This is going to be a short video with not a lot of me talking. And so we'll just go ahead and speed it up right now. And then you can watch what I'm doing. It's pretty self-explanatory. So I'm just going to grab a piece. So what I'm doing here, you can't see it because it's off the camera, is I am unwinding all of my embroidery thread. I am going to grab the ends, if I could find this end. Alright, so I'm just basically putting both the ends together, and then I'm going to look for the center and then just cut it in half for simplicity. Alright, so there's the middle, and I'm going to need two of these, so just cut it in half. And then put the other one to the side to use on the second one. So basically, I just sort of licked my finger here. I know it's gross, but I want to make sure that there's no little hairs on this, so it'll make it a little easier. This is not a good pair of scissors. This is better. Okay. Ugh, that's not a good pair of scissors either. Jeez. Let's try that again. Just want to make sure it's a nice clean cut. It'll be a lot easier to get it into the needle if you do that. Okay. Alright, so I got my needle in. Perfect. Now just find the other end and make a knot. Without tying this up like I just did. There we go. Now when I make a knot, I do this. I get my fingers wet, right? And then I wrap the thread around both of my fingers twice. And then I use my thumb and I twist it as I am taking it off my fingers, and then I just pull. Okay, so that makes a pretty decent knot, and you can see, maybe if it'll focus, there's a nice good knot. Okay, so again, I'm going to speed up the video, and then we're going to start. And when you are sewing this together, you want to make sure that you leave one side open. So what I'm going to do is I am going to start sewing in this top corner right here. I'm going to sew down here. This is optional. You don't have to sew this side because it's already closed, but if you want your hand warmer to be consistent with the white thread going around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down this way. Then I'm going to go across here, and then I'm going to come up here, and then I'm going to stop right here before I finish this side. Okay, so let's speed up the video. All right, so what I am going to do now is I am going to leave the thread attached, and then I am going to very carefully open it up and pour in half of my rice. So let me go ahead, I'm just going to pause really fast and get the rice, and then I will fill it, and then we will sew up the end, and then I will show you how to finish off your stitch in this corner. Okay, so I'll be right back. So I didn't measure out my rice. I wanted to make this first so that I knew kind of how much rice to give you. So I grabbed some of the rice, and what I'm going to do is very carefully, at least hopefully very carefully, pour it in here without spilling it everywhere. But knowing my luck, I usually make a mess. Like that. Okay. Probably should have grabbed a smaller container. It would have been easier to pour. Or have somebody help you by holding the bag open. Let's see if that'll work a little better. Let's see. Okay, that should be enough rice. You don't want it to be super full of rice, so you can see how much I've actually put in there. And pick up the rest of this stuff, hopefully. And I have some underneath my little desk thing here, but I will get that later. All right. Okay, and now that you have a bit of rice in there, it looks like it's about, oh, I would say somewhere between 1/4 and 1/2 cup of the rice. So what I'd probably end up doing is just giving you guys like a full cup of rice, and then just put half in one and half in the other. Okay, so now that we have this in, be careful to keep it closed while you're sewing it, and then to continue to get the needle through both sides of your fabric so that you don't have any gaps. All right, and now all you have to do is just close it. All right, so I'm going to speed up the video again. All right, so now I'm going to show you how to tie off your thread here. So one of the things I'd like to do is I try to hide the end of the thread as much as I can. And it's a little difficult when you're doing this, and I probably should have left that last stitch off so that I can hide this better. So what you're going to do is make another knot, just like we did before. Alright, so you twist it around your fingers and pull this, and then try to get that knot to come down as close as you can to your bag here, right? Alright, now this is the fun part. I like to take the needle and go back in between the two pieces of fabric. So there's a little tiny opening there. I'm just going to carefully push my needle through as best as I can. It's a little bit more difficult because the rice is a little heavy, but try to get your needle in there, in between the fabric. All right, so once your needle's in there about yay far, what you're going to do is you're going to push it all the way through, and very carefully bring all your thread inside the bag. Okay? All right, now you want to try to get that knot in there, so kind of give it a bit of a tug. Well, it looks like I'm going to have a bit of a tail here. Doesn't want to go all the way in, but you know what? I don't care. So now that I have that knot on there and I have this, what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to pull this just a tiny bit, and then I'm going to take my scissors and cut off the excess right there. And then once you pull this, that little tail is going to disappear into your little bag. So now I have my hand warmer finished. And yeah, I've got a tiny little tail right there. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm looking at my screen backwards. But, you know, well, life isn't always perfect. But at least this will keep my hands warm. Now what you're going to do is you're going to make the second one just like I did with this one. And when you're ready to use it, microwave this for, I would say, about 30 seconds to a minute, depending on how powerful your microwave is. And now you have a nice hand warmer. But because this is made with rice, try not to get it wet. What'll happen is that the rice will soak up the water and then it'll start to mildew and mold, and you don't want that. So keep it dry. And then right before you go out, microwave it for 30 seconds to a minute. You can put it in your pockets, and that way you will keep your hands warm while you're outside. All right, well, there is the hand warmer, and I'm going to make a second one, and I'll probably start using it because it's snowing right now. So there you go. Have fun, guys. All right, see you next time. Bye.